This is what I cooked as a private chef in Beverly Hills. Very rarely, but once in a while, my clients will request to have two very different items. And it's my job to accommodate. One of my clients requested a pork chop, so I made sure I grabbed it the day before so I could do an overnight brine. Just some water, garlic, salt, honey, thyme, and rosemary. I ended up having to cook it down a while because I added too much water like a dummy. Once I got it down to the flavor I wanted, I added ice to cool it down. Threw my pork chops in a container and put enough of the brine to completely submerge those chops. To get ahead for tomorrow's lunch, I also made the vinaigrette. She requested Asian chicken salad for her and her guest. For the dressing, I combined rice vinegar with fresh grated garlic, grated ginger, soy sauce, hot mustard, honey, sesame oil, and avocado oil so that the sesame wasn't too overpowering. Now, the morning of, I removed the pork chops from the brine and I dry them on paper towels. While that dries, I jump on prepping the many components of the salad. First are the sugar snap peas, you know the deal. Remove the strings and slice on a bias. Thinly slice red cabbage and Napa cabbage. Always rinse and dry your veg. No bugs allowed. I like to quarter cucumbers so that I can easily deseed them and then cube them. Slice those cherry tomatoes in half. Peel and Asian julienne these farmer market carrots. Asian style julienne is just when you slice them on a bias, shingle them on top of each other, and then give them a slice. Cut some green onions, and if you've been watching a while, you know that I like to wash my green onions after I slice them. We had some leftover chicken from yesterday's lunch, so I just shredded them to be tossed into the salad. I personally am not a fan of cilantro because of the soap gene, but it definitely has its place in Asian chicken salad, so I sliced that as well. And finally, I toasted and chopped these cashews. The key point of an Asian chicken salad for me is that it has to have a whole lot of texture. Crispy, crunchy, juicy, soft, it should have it all. It got a little hectic right before our guest arrived, so I missed recording the applesauce, but it was just Granny Smith apples that I cooked down in a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and sugar. Nice and simple. Then I go and seared the pork chops, basted in butter, and set that aside to rest while I made the sauce. Deglazed the pan with a bit of apple cider juice, threw it into a pot with a bit more cider and apple cider vinegar. I'm really pushing the apple theme heavy. Can't go wrong with pork chop and apples. Then I threw in some cubed apples, a bit more sugar, and let that cook and absorb the liquid. While that sauce is reducing and the apples are cooking away, it's time to plate the salads for the ladies. I combine all those prepped ingredients along with some crispy wontons and the dressing. Stack them nice and high in this pretty little bowl, put an avocado rose for them, and garnish with some crushed wonton chips for a bit more texture. Now we go back to the pork. Cooking is all about multitasking and time management, making sure that the salad is still crispy and not wilted while the pork chop is still hot. To plate, I spoon some of that apple puree on the bottom, slice and shingle the pork chop on top with the bone nice and pretty, some steamed cauliflower on the side, and I went to finish up that apple cider glaze with the apples. A touch of sugar to round it out, and mounted it with butter to thicken it and give it some shine and richness. Spoon the apples and reduction over the pork chop, and off they go. I hope they like it.